Hello everyone, today I'll be explaining in between and I'm trying the audio. Okay, let's start. Oh, I'm taking interpolate curve now. For interpolate curve, you can change the degree as well. Now I'm showing you here in the options. You can see the curve degree. There you can change it as 2 degree 2 or degree 1 as well. If you change it to degree 1, then it results in lines like this. Change the degree as 2, it gives arcs, arc, A-R-C, arcs. And if it is 3, it will give the normal interpolate curve. I'm using rebuild to control the points and to adjust the curve. I think 5 points are enough. And I'm going to mirror it. I'm not going to drag this point up to here and making a sharp edge. I'll just leave it like that because I want it like that. It's intentional. Now I took oval, diameter, or 2 points, and say I'm just eyeballing the distance, it's not a specific. Using sweep, you have the leaf shape as you all might have guessed already. I'm going to make a leaf shape, petal shape. Now we can just mirror it to the opposite side. This is not in the middle of this curve, so I'm going to project it to the C plane, project to C plane, and I'm going to delete input as yes. Project to C plane is a view oriented command, so you need to use it on the view selected view. Your required view, you have to use the project to C plane on your required view. Now I require it to project on the front view, so I'm going to select the project to C-plane tool on the front view. And yes, voila, now I get them. I don't need that curve, so I delete it. And this one as well. I'm going to align it to 0. Now I'm group and sweep 2. So now I mirror this origin as 0. Now these are two surfaces, as we can see. They're on the back side, so I'm going to flipping them. Now I'll match them, match surface using merge surface tool. Roundness as 0. So now it's a single surface, as you can see. I'm going to rebuild it. You can rebuild curves, open surfaces as well. Now it's clean and neat. So now, if I use cap command, it is unable to cap because it has this open edge as well. These two open edges will not allow it to cap. So at the end of the video, I'm going to render it in IGL 3D today. Now, how to close this? How to make it a closed poly surface, or how to make this a closed surface or closed poly surface? How to make it a closed object? Now I'm going to show that. One way is use loft. See, I lofted and merged the surfaces, and we can join these two open objects and make it a. Now this is open poly surface. As you can see in the properties here, here you can check the properties, select the object and check in the properties. It's showing open poly surface. So now to close this, I'm going to use cap tool. Now check 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 in the properties. Now it's showing closed solid poly surface here. So now I made it a closed object. Now I'm going to extract isoco, extract isoco point and just offset surface, use offset surface to create more curves on the surface. Distance you can set it as 0. I'm setting it as 0.3. Just trying it. And you can set the number of curves to offset also. I'm going to group them. I selected them by using cell last tool. You if you observe the curves closely, then you see this curve is not projected properly. It's not proper curve. So I'm going to rebuild it with sufficient points. Perfect. And I'm gonna project it from the top view onto the surface. I select all the curves and group them. If you want to remove something from group, use remove from group tool. What I'm trying to do here is, I want to create texture on the leaf surface. I want to create a textured leaf here. Always take a copy before doing any changes to the base object. So for creating that, now I'm going to use pipe tool, set it as diameter, not radius, and you can change the output as surface, sub-D, or surface or sub-D, and thickness. If you select this option, it asks you for thickness. How much thickness? Like it will be hollow inside, and it asks you specific thickness for setting the pipe cap, flat or round. If you go here, you can see two kind of pipe tools, one with flat caps and one with pipe. I'm going to select round caps pipe. I just set it as subdi because subdi is easy to manipulate after creating the cap round. I'm going to use cell last command and group it. You can select subdis by using cell subdi tool also. Cell subdi. It will select all the subdi objects in the file. Now I am doing Boolean difference from this to this. We can change subdi to nerves by using two nerves. Now I'm going to use Boolean difference to create the texture. That's ये जो बुलियन डिफरेंस हो रहा है वो बहुत समय लगा रहा है, इसलिए मैं एक एक करके कर रहा हूँ। Voila, there is lot of there is there you can see the texture on the leaf, and I just wanted to do that. One left, so now I'm going to do the Boolean difference of that one also. I did that also. एक रह गया उसको भी कर रहा हूँ Boolean difference. When you are doing some anything, any Boolean difference or Boolean or whatever it is, always make sure that you kept it in wireframe or shaded mode. Kept the mode shaded or wireframe because rendered mode takes a lot of time than these two modes. After doing the Boolean difference or union or intersection, it, it optimizes, like it shows the object in that mode. So rendered mode obviously takes more time than the wireframe or shaded. So always keep it in wireframe or shaded mode while doing these operations. Voila, there is the textured leaf I wanted. Yes, there it is. Now it has these unclean edges and unclean look. Now it's not polished look. Now to make it to give it a polished look, I'm gonna paste the original untextured leaf object and lock all the other objects. I will dupe the edges of this leaf and pipe them with surface. I'm going to extract the surface, copy yes, and delete the closed object. I'll show you clearly. Now I'm going to split this surface using isocurve. Using isocurve. I'm going to toggle it to other side. Now we have this surface. Bring it to the original position, and I'm going to use offset surface. Just mirror it, origin O, and voila. Now the polished look also completed. Now I have the polished textured leaf. I want to create earring. Now I'm going to use wide cut tool. set direction as G and remove the outside part to make it a straight object, straight end, and there it is. If you get the straight ends, then it looks very neat and clean. See, I'm going to show you both sides. See, this is straight and polished one, and this is not straight and zigzag or irregular end. You can decide which one is looking good. Obviously, the neat and clean one is looking good. So, for creating anything, after creating, just make sure the details are clean and polished and refined. Clean ends, clean ends, clean edges, clean surfaces, clean objects. Always add an extra bit elegance to the design. So make sure you do the refinement after doing anything, after creating any. सो हमेशा 3D डिजाइन को साफ करना बहुत जरूरी है. While the tool, you can pick the direction also. Not only X Y Z, you can pick your required direction also. I'm going to create earring design with this one, with this element. After using the curves, if you don't need those curves, just select cell curve. If you want to save those curves, you can just hide them or save them on some layer, just like this. If you think if you can use them in future while doing the design later, if you can use those curves later, just save them. Mostly save them because always curves help in design further. I save them. Unnecessary curves like wide cut curves or something like that, then you can delete them. No need of no use of them further. As I say always, just take a copy of the original object before doing any Boolean operations. Boolean करने से पहले ऑब्जेक्ट का कॉपी लेकर हाइड या लेयर पे छुपाना. Now I'm going to do Boolean union of these objects. Yes, voila, it's done. Now with these two. Now this is one closed poly surface. Always check the object whether the object is good or bad by using check tool. So it's showing here the rhino poly surface object is valid. Now I'm moving on to the next part. Because if you check there then and there itself, it saves a lot of time for you. अगर आप आगे जाके चेक करेंगे वो बैड सरफेस निकला तो वो सारा डिजाइन खराब होगा, आपको फिर से करना होगा. इट्स लॉट ऑफ टाइम वेस्ट. So check it here and here itself at this stage. I need 10 diameter, so I created 10 diameter circle and a spear as well. Dragon 3D plugin for Rhino, and I have render materials here. Now I'm going to select from metal. No, this I'm going to use as pearl spear. So I'll select from gem. Here we have a lot of options like jade, malachite, lapis lazuli, or opal, or I'm going to use pearl gray. Now move the leaf over there, and I'm going to use case edit tool, bounding box C plan. I'm not going to increase any points over there. I just use the given options. In case edit, I'll use line as a controller. Now, edit, if I move the points of the curve, the object adapts to it. I think this suits better for this than that. So I'm gonna use this. The line we are using to manipulate the leaf is called as control. Why it is called control? Why is it called control? Because why is it called control? Because it controls the object we use to select as editable object. It controls the selected object. It moves accordingly. Control defines the shape of the object we are editing, we are manipulating. So it's called control. That is why it's called control. See, if I move this point, the object is adjusting to that shape. That's why it's called control. That is the control, and this is the control. This is the controlling line, and this is being controlled. You can use bend tool as well to bend this object, bend this textured leaf element. But I prefer case edit because this is more flexible than the bend tool. This gives more control than the bend tool. That's why it is called control. Just use points on or off to on or off the points. These textured leaves are gonna be covering this pearl like a fruit in the leaves. That's the aim. That's the look I wanna achieve. I use array polar, select the object and just right click. It automatically chooses its origin as 0 and set the number of items you want to copy, number of copies you want as number of items. I want 4 copies, so I input 4 there and just click enter because I want 360. I don't want to change anything there. If you want the set number of items in set number of angle in a required angle, then you can change the option like 360. Instead of 360, you can you can change it to 270 or 250 or whatever your required angle, whatever the limited space you want your objects to array. I want it to 360, so I didn't change anything there. Voila, it's neatly aligned and neatly covering and properly set textured leaves on the pearl. Now I'll do the remaining earring like ear wire and all. We can use ear wire like striped ear wire or ear loop like arched ear wire also. So now I'm gonna render the petals with metal. I'm gonna use yellow gold. And in Dragon 3D, you have a lot of options like you can render it with 10K, 14K, and white gold, rose gold, lot of options. And in Dragon 3D plugin, you can create gem settings, gems, rings, cutters, jewelry, lot of tools like Voronoi, hatch patterns, and also lot of tools are available in Dragon 3D that makes your jewelry design process optimized. You can save a lot of time with the Dragon 3D plugin. If anyone wants to buy Dragon 3D, please reach me out. I just use a two-page tool to duplicate the edges and I'm going to join them and pipe them just to give the polished look. And same array. I used array polar. Same process here also. Looped, join and pipe and aeropola. I'm gonna use interpolate code to create the EOI. Just try it. Now to connect the EOI and the pearl, I use a straight line. I'm going to pipe it. Now here I'm going to finish it off with a torus. Take torus and just cover this area to look and make it clean here. Voila, there it is. and that torus is connecting all the petals, ear wire, and the link that is gonna be holding the pearl. Everything is joined together with the torus. I'm gonna render the remaining items. Voila! There is the elegant four petals covering the fruit of pearl earrings. Now I'm going to set the turntable animation in rendered view and play the animation. Voila! There are the pearl earrings. You just can record the animation you created in Rhino, a screen recording, and create videos of your of the done jewelry. स्क्रीन रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन करके जो एनिमेशन हमने सेट किया वो जब प्ले हो रहा है उसको रिकॉर्ड करके हम अपना बनाया ज्वेलरी को दिखा सकते हैं, वीडियोस कर सकते हैं. So if you have any doubts, please reach me out in the comment section or while the chat or something like that during chat through the chat or in the comment section. And for today, that's all for today. Till next live, keep modeling and keep smiling, my dear friends. If you have anything like if you want to see any model to be created or if you have any doubt, please reach me out in the chat or comment section. Good.